Hello my friends, today I would like to continue with my 10 great accessories series, and in this video we will take a look at my favorite accessories that I use with Sony A7 III. The A7 III is a great camera. For many users, including myself, it is the best package on the market right now. So these are the accessories that I use with my A7 III to get nice photos and footage, and also to enjoy shooting as much as possible. All of the items with timestamps and links to purchase these accessories will be linked in the description. Number 1 on my list is 24 to 70-ish mm f2.8 zoom lens. I think that it really makes sense to get one, basically for any full frame camera, because these lenses are very flexible, they cover most frequently used focal lengths, they are great for low light shooting, blurring the background and so on. My personal choice is the Tamron 28 to 75mm f2.8 Di III RXD, because for me it is the best compromise between the image quality, aperture, focal range, size, weight and also the price. With this lens you lose those 4mm on the wide end, but the image quality is excellent in terms of sharpness, contrast and color reproduction. It is very light, fairly small, and the autofocus works just like with Sony lenses. All of the issues were fixed with the firmware update, so overall I am very happy with this lens. If you want that 24mm on wide end and still have that f2.8 aperture, you can get Sony 24 to 70mm f2.8 G master lens. If you would like something smaller with image stabilization, there is the FE 24 to 70mm F4 OSS, and if you would like some more reach, you can go with Sony FE 24 to 105mm F4 G OSS. So I think that all of the users should be able to choose from these alternatives. Item number 2 is small prime lens with focal length that you prefer the most. A7 III is of course a mirrorless camera, so it is much smaller than full-frame DSLR, and I also really like to take an advantage of that by using small and portable prime lens for the situations where I don't want to carry around larger zoom lens. My prime lens of choice is Sony FE 28mm f2. 28mm is my most favorite and most frequently used focal length. It is suitable for landscape, street photography and travel photography. This lens is also optically very solid with good sharpness, especially if you stop it down to about f4 or 5.6, it is very sharp across the frame. Contrast and colors are good as well. The build quality is very good. f2 aperture makes it very suitable for low light shooting, so overall I really like to use this lens. If you would like even wider lens, you can go with the Samyang AF 24mm f2.8 pancake lens. Samyang AF 35mm f2.8 is very good choice if you prefer 35mm focal length, and if you like 50-ish mm focal length, Zeiss 55mm f1.8 is very good lens as well. Especially for filming, I also like to use filters. At the moment I am using and testing new PolarPro QuartzLine filters. I especially like this 3-stop ND8 filter, which is combined with circular polarizer, so it is also quite useful for shooting stills. For video it helps me avoid high shutter speeds, and in my testing these filters don't affect image quality at all in real-world use, so I am very happy with these filters. I also have 100,000 15-stop ND filter for smoothing out the water surfaces or things like that, so it is also possible to take some cool shots with that one. Especially if you have switched from Canon to Sony, you may want to use a lens adapter. An adapter allows you to use lenses that are meant for other mounts. Adapting Canon EF lenses to Sony E mount is the most common option. I use Sigma MC11 adapter. At the moment I only use it with Sigma 18 to 35mm f1.8, but only in the crop mode on A7 III. This combination works very well, basically like a native lens. Next week I will also be testing it with Canon 50mm f1.8, and I will also be testing new Lite high-speed adapter, so stay tuned for that. The battery life on A7 Mark III is very good, but I still recommend getting at least 1 or 2 spare batteries. I use original batteries, but now you can also get third-party batteries from respected brands like Wasabi or Power Extra. I also recommend getting a dual charger. That is, in my opinion, definitely a must-have accessory since it lets you charge 2 batteries at the same time. It is very small. This one also has display so that you can see the state of charge on both batteries. It is powered by regular micro USB cable. For charging multiple devices at the same time, I also use 6-port 60-watt raw power charger with 2.4 amps on all ports, and one port also supports Quick Charge 3. Another basic accessory are the SD cards. I still use SanDisk Extreme Pro UHS-I version. These are fast enough for all kinds of 4K video that A7 Mark III shoots. There is one UHS-II compatible slot in A7 Mark III, and that will help with buffer clearing. So if you shoot a lot of sports, for example, you probably should get one UHS-II card for RAWs and shoot JPEGs to the card in the other slot. If you don't need fast buffer clearing, UHS-I cards will be sufficient. Another accessory is the cage. I'm personally a big fan of cages because sometimes I like to mount a lot of stuff onto the camera. I also like the added protection, and in my opinion these cages look kind of cool as well. I use SmallRig cages, I have a lot of these, and these are very well made with durable coating, very precise finishing, and a lot of mounting options. And especially if you are an advanced filmmaker, I definitely recommend one of these cages for handheld shooting, because with added handle you can have much more control over the camera. My favorite tripod is still Sony A699C made of carbon fiber. This is a great tripod, very easy to set up, very portable, very light since it is made of carbon fiber. I also like the ball head on this one. It is good enough for quite heavy setups, and especially if you are moving to different locations while you are shooting, this tripod is highly suitable. If circumstances allow it, I also use the Manfrotto PIXI EVO, which is my most favorite table tripod. It is easy to work with, the ball head is also strong enough for heavier setups, and sometimes it is just easier to use it instead of regular tripod. Regarding the straps, I still use Peak Design straps, mostly the Slide Lite in ash color. I have made a full review of that one and I will link it in the description. It is very well made strap with great quick release anchors. With 28mm f2 lens setup, I use the Leash, which is the lighter version, and for carrying the A7 Mark III in cage with accessories, I also use the heavy duty version, which is the Slide. I have been using these straps for a very long time and I am very happy with these. Regarding the microphone, I still use Rode VideoMic Pro. It is still a great mic with very good sound quality. The preamp is also very good. It works great with A7 Mark III, but I intend to try Azden SMX-30 mic, which is a combination of stereo mic and shotgun mic. It also turns on with the camera, which is a very important thing for me. So if I can find a way to buy one in this part of the world, I will also make a review of that one. Another accessory that I don't have yet, because I forgot to order it, is the battery grip. I generally like battery grips a lot, mostly for improved handling and also for extended battery life, of course. Also, if you have issues with overheating, using battery grip should help, as it removes the main source of heat out of the camera. I also like to include one silly or off-topic accessory in these videos, and for A7 Mark III it is Sony A6500 or A6300. The A7 Mark III is better than A6500 in every way except for portability and the price, but the main reason why I keep the A6500 while having A7 Mark III, besides needing to use two cameras simultaneously, is the extra reach that I can get with full frame lenses when mounted on APS-C camera. For example, when I mount the FE 28mm f2 on A6500, it becomes 42mm f3 full frame equivalent lens, which is also my favorite focal length. Or when I mount the Tamron 28 to 75mm f2.8, Besides having 157.5mm full frame equivalent reach, it also becomes great semi-macro lens for things like shooting butterflies. So if you have APS-C E-mount camera, it is kind of like buying two lenses for the price of one, which is in my opinion quite good proposition. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. I hope that you liked this video and that you have found it to be useful. Stay tuned for more videos and maybe consider subscribing if you don't want to miss my future content. I appreciate your feedback in form of thumbs up or thumbs down. If you would like to ask anything or share your opinion, please do so in the comment section, and see you next time.